This is the Bushman 360 halo light, designed specifically with 360 shooting in mind. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to Bushman for sending me this to check it out. But is it any good, and why would you need to use it? Let's get straight to it and take a look. As you'd expect with any Bushman product, the halo light is really well engineered and it feels like a solid unit with a compact design that is really well made. The light measures approximately 9 centimeters high with a diameter of 6 centimeters, and it's made of aluminium to allow for maximum heat dissipation. It has a 1/4 inch thread at the top for attaching your camera or your selfie stick, and it has a female 1/4 inch thread at the base, so you can either have multiple lights stacked together, or you can add the included spacer extension to raise the light from the floor, or attach it to a mini tripod or raise your camera up. You can also combine it with 2 selfie sticks to vary the height of the light as well. There are so many different ways and combinations that you can set this light up with your 360 camera. There are 2 red rubberized rings, one at the top and one at the bottom, which give extra grip for attachments, and they also serve as grippy feet if you're placing the light directly onto a flat surface. All of the controls for the halo light are around the top here beneath a rubberized push button panel. To turn it on, you press and click the on button, and then you'll see this green LED light appear. And you can now cycle through 5 dimmable settings at 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100% brightness. When you're using this light in the dark, the LED is lit permanently green, so it's easy to see. But when you're using the light, it is blindingly bright, so sometimes it's tricky to locate that dimmer switch to make changes to the light. This is a minor criticism, but for version 2 of this light, I'd really like to see the dimmer switch located on the top and a raised switch so it's easily to locate without actually having to look directly at the light. You can change the colour temperature using this button switch, and you can switch it between 3000, 4000 and 5200 degrees Kelvin. So you're changing it from warm to cold light, so from tungsten to mixed to pretty much daylight. The colour accuracy of the light is complementary, and it has a CRI of approximately 95%. The CRI refers to how the light can bring out and accurately represent the natural colour of objects, and you should aim to use a light with a CRI of 95% and above. You can charge the light using the USB-C input, and it has a charge time of around 3 to 4 hours, and the battery capacity is 5200 milliamps. There is also a standard USB out, so you can use the light as a power bank for your camera and charge it while you're shooting. And the light comes with this very cool magnetic flexible charge cable with 3 magnetic adapters. These cables are really neat, but beware because the magnetic cable is really addictive. When you shoot in 360, it's hard to add additional light to your shot without the light actually being seen, and without creating lens flares, and without creating an unevenly lit image. The halo light was made specifically with 360 filming in mind, so you can use the halo light. It gives you a nice soft light, and the light source itself can't be seen in your shots. As I mentioned before, the dual threads allow you to adjust the height of the light by placing a spacer or an additional selfie stick in between. This does affect how the light falls into the room and how the shot looks, so you have to experiment to find the best position in every situation. The light gives you a horizontal light source with very little vertical spill, which helps minimize lens flares. Even when you place the light at different heights, you can still remove it easily from your shot using something like touch retouch. Obviously, the higher you go with the light under the camera, the bigger the footprint that will need to be erased, so just bear that in mind. At full extension with the halo light at the bottom underneath your selfie stick, you really can't see it at all, and really you're just erasing the tripod out of your shot, not the halo light. Be mindful when you position the halo light at the top of your selfie stick or your monopod, because it can make the setup a bit top heavy, which makes it vulnerable to falling over. So the big question that a lot of you have asked is, why do you even need this light and what would you use it for? The main reason I'll be using the halo light is for virtual tours, and it's not necessary for every situation, but it does add a little bit of gloss to those situations where your room is underlit. More importantly, the light is around 755 lumens, which is equivalent to around a 60 watt bulb, so it can light up an entirely dark room of around 20 meters square. This room here was shot in daylight with the curtains closed just to limit the amount of light. The room is 7 meters by 4 meters, so a bit big for this light, but it was a good scenario to see what the light does in lifting an underlit room. And when you cycle through the dimmer, you can see that the light helps in lifting the dark shadows. And now if I come into the shot and we start exposing for skin tone, I've only had to increase the light a few steps on the dimmer to get exposure, and there's plenty more to use if I needed it. And in a completely dark room with no light at all, this is where the halo light is really impressive. This is in a summer house which is 5.5 meters by 4 meters by 4 meters high, and it was at night with no additional lighting. As you step through the dimmer, you can see the effect of the light on the shot, and at full brightness it really is effective at lighting up the entire space. Based on this one sample alone, you can see how this light will come in useful on construction sites, for refurbishment projects, shooting inside military vehicles, on cruise ships. There are just dozens of scenarios where you have little or no light at all, where the halo light can add something to your shot. If you're shooting 360 stuff inside cars, this light is also good for getting rid of some of the shadows and also for adding a few highlights to your shots. And where it really helps is if you're getting shots inside camper vans, for example, or caravans, particularly the back of camper vans where sometimes you haven't got much light unless you open the door, then the halo light really is good at giving you a bit more exposure and bringing your shot to life. You really have to see this light yourself to appreciate just how bright it is. And I think the shots in the pitch black summer house really sold it to me. If you've just bought your 360 camera for a bit of fun, then you may not want to or need to invest your money into a light like this. It isn't an accessory that everyone will need. But if you want to have more accessories that cover you in every situation you come across for filming, and you want to shoot in dimly lit rooms and you want to shoot in dark rooms, or if you're using your camera commercially and you just want to improve your photos and videos, then this light is a must-have accessory for your kit bag. And once you have it, you'll keep discovering new ways that you can use it. You'll find my affiliate link to the halo light in the description below, and you can use my discount code to give you a 5% discount at the checkout. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the halo light, and if you want more accessory ideas, you can watch these two videos next. My name's Rich, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.